When I first learned about this, I said, you know that I was going to be pulling out all the violins, my entire orchestra. The Petty Pendergrass production behind this one is going to be probably one of my best ones yet. And I already knew that my subscribers was going to let me know in various comment sections that they wanted me to speak on this. As a matter of fact, a few of you actually did leave comments under various videos that I uploaded today to let me know about Michael Avenatti, not knowing that I had already knew about his situation. Now, I got the alert about Michael Avenatti about 8 hours ago. I think I was about an hour or maybe even probably 30 minutes into me being at work, and I received that and I said, oh my God, this is going to be a long day. I'm gonna have to wait till I get home to actually record this video, and I know that my subscribers and my loyal supporters are going to enjoy this. As a matter of fact, Harvey actually has been able to enjoy it already because I watched his commentary on it, and his intro had me cracking up about it. As a matter of fact, Lisa, I believe, has already done a video as well. Now it's my turn, and y'all already know what that means. Y'all can hear it in the background as I speak. So, Michael Avenatti, he basically has been exposed as a liar, a fraudster, a thief, and just an all-around scumbag. So, he done pissed off Nike because not only Nike, but a whole bunch of other people. As a matter of fact, the article that I'm going to read from CNBC, when I first got it, it was just a breaking news story where they didn't have much to go on. But since then, I opened it up, and the last update came approximately 22 minutes ago from an article that was posted 7 hours ago. So you know a lot of information has been released since then. Now, y'all know that I usually don't like to read long articles because I don't want to keep y'all here all day and, probably bore you to death. But this is a Petty Pendergrass production. So this is a special occasion, so we're going to just throw that little rule out the window because I'm going to read this entire article, and I had enough time to skim through it a little bit and scroll. I had to scroll about 10 times before I got to the very end, so you know we're going to be here a while. So without further ado, let's get into it. Stormy Daniels, ex-lawyer Michael Avenatti, arrested for alleged $20 million extortion scheme against Nike, embezzling clients' money, and defrauding banks. Now, why does this sound like something that Bernie Madoff would do? It's like he went to the Bernie Madoff school of fraudsters. That's basically what he did. But let's continue. Celebrity lawyer Michael Avenatti is arrested on charges of trying to extort up to $25 million from Nike by threatening to reveal negative publicity. Avenatti also is charged in a separate federal case of embezzling a client's money in order to pay his own expense and debts, and of defrauding a bank in Mississippi. Avenatti represented porn star Stormy Daniels in her lawsuits against President Donald Trump and his former lawyer Michael Cohen related to a non-disclosure agreement she had signed on the eve of the 2016 presidential election to keep quiet about her alleged affair with Trump. Celebrity lawyer Michael Avenatti was arrested Monday in New York City on charges of trying to extort up to $25 million from Nike by threatening to publicize claims that company employees authorized payments to the families of top high school basketball players. Avenatti was also separately charged in a second federal case in Los Angeles with embezzling a client's money in order to pay his own expenses and debts, and those of his law firm and coffee company, and of defrauding a bank in Mississippi. He faces almost 100 years in prison if convicted in both cases, as well as possible disbarment as a lawyer. I hope they find him guilty on every single thing. Now, before I go any further, isn't it ironic how this guy jumped from going in on Donald Trump with the whole Stormy Daniels thing to jumping onto the R. Kelly train and the R. Kelly bandwagon? Like, what a shift. Like, how did you go from point A to a very, very low hanging fruit point B? Like, how did you get mixed up with that? Now we know why. Because he was trying to cover up what was going on with this. Something tells me that if he had stayed on with the whole Stormy Daniels situation, what we're learning right now probably would have gotten exposed then. But let's be real here. It would have got exposed regardless. Look at what I'm reading. Listen to what I'm reading right now. Let me continue. The famously aggressive litigator gained widespread notoriety in the past year for representing porn star Stormy Daniels in lawsuits against President Donald Trump and his former lawyer Michael Cohen. Those cases were related to a non-disclosure agreement she signed on the eve of 2016 presidential election to keep quiet about her alleged affair with Trump in exchange for a $130,000 payment. Avenatti was released from Manhattan federal court after a hearing and after signing a $300,000 personal recognizance bond. No actual money is posted for such bail. He would forfeit property or cash equivalent to the dollar amount of the bond if he fails to appear in court for future hearings. For the entirety of my career, I have fought against the powerful people and powerful corporations, Avenatti told reporters when he was released. I will never stop fighting that good fight. He said he was confident that when all the evidence is out, I will be fully exonerated and justice will be done. Avenatti, who was dressed in a dark navy blue suit, dark shoes, a white shirt, and a bright blue tie, was ordered by a judge to surrender his U.S. and Italian passports and barred from traveling anywhere in the United States other than New York City, Long Island, several counties just north of Manhattan, and the Central District of California, which includes the Los Angeles area. At the hearing, where he was represented by a federal public defender, Avenatti was also ordered to have no contact with his alleged co-conspirator, fellow high-profile lawyer Mark Geragos, who is not criminally charged in the case. Avenatti must also appear in Los Angeles to face charges there on April 1st. The judge also ordered that Avenatti may not transfer $5,000 or greater from any account he controls without approval from federal pretrial services officials. His hearing in New York occurred in the same courthouse where Cohen pleaded guilty to criminal charges that included one relating to that hush money deal. Last year, Avenatti announced that he was considering running for president, but later decided not to run. I guess now we know why he decided not to run. Daniels replaced Avenatti as her lawyer earlier this month after a fallout with him. Daniels, in a statement released by her new lawyer Clark Brewster, told CNBC, "Knowing that what I know about Michael, I'm saddened but not shocked regarding his arrest. I made the decision weeks ago to terminate Michael's services after discovering that he had dealt with me extremely dishonestly, and I will have my own announcement coming soon," Daniels said. Avenatti, age 48, was arrested in Midtown Manhattan at the law offices of Boies Schiller Flexner at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by FBI agents about 15 minutes after he tweeted that he would be disclosing a big high school and college basketball scandal perpetrated by Nike that he supposedly had uncovered. Now, that was around the time that I did get the alert that he was arrested. It was around 12:30 p.m. this afternoon. Boies Schiller lawyers were representing Nike and were scheduled to meet Monday at their office with Avenatti and his unidentified co-conspirator to discuss Avenatti's demands, according to the company and prosecutors. Nike stock initially nosedived after Avenatti's tweet, but later recovered much of the losses. The co-conspirator was identified by sources to NBC News as Geragos, a California criminal defense lawyer. Geragos is currently representing actor Jussie Smollett in a case where the Empire cast member is accused of lying to Chicago cops about a purported hate crime attack. A person who answered Geragos' office told CNBC, "We are not at liberty to speak on the matter. We are not releasing any comments." Geragos is being represented by prominent New York criminal defense lawyer Benjamin Brafman. Brafman declined to comment when contacted by CNBC. A CNN spokeswoman said that Geragos no longer is a contributor to that news network. Prosecutors say Avenatti's alleged effort to shake down Nike for millions of dollars kicked off in earnest last Tuesday and quickly escalated over the next 2 days as he threatened to hold a press conference accusing the company of being involved in bribing amateur basketball players. Avenatti alleged timed his threat to coincide with Nike's quarterly earnings call and the kickoff of the National Collegiate Athletics Association's National Championship Basketball Association, also known as the NCAA March Madness, which is going on right now. According to a criminal complaint, Avenatti offered to refrain from that press conference only if Nike made a payment of $1.5 million to a client of Avenatti's in possession of information damaging to Nike and agreed to retain Avenatti and the co-conspirator to conduct an internal investigation, an investigation that Nike did not request, for which Avenatti and the co-conspirator demanded to be paid at a minimum between $15 million and $25 million. The co-conspirator is an attorney licensed to practice in the state of California and similarly known for representation of celebrity and public figure clients. The client of Avenatti's is a coach of an amateur athletic union men's basketball program based in California who for a number of years had a sponsorship agreement with Nike. The complaint says that on Wednesday, Avenatti and a cooperating witness spoke by phone with lawyers for Nike, during which Avenatti stated, with respect to his demands for payment of millions of dollars, that if those demands were not met, I'll go take $10 billion off your client's market cap. I'm not fucking around. On Thursday, Avenatti tweeted a link to a CBS story from early March about the sentencing of 3 men, including a former Adidas executive and a former Adidas consultant, who were found guilty of conspiring to defraud the University of Louisville and the University of Kansas by funneling money to basketball recruits to those colleges with the goal of eventually signing the players to Adidas endorsement deals. U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Berman, speaking at a press conference in Manhattan, said Avenatti's conduct had nothing to do with valid advocacy on behalf of a client or any kind of legitimate legal work. Instead, Avenatti used illegal and extortionate threats for the purpose of obtaining in payments for himself. A suit and tie does not mask the fact that at its core, this was an old-fashioned shakedown. Now, before I go any further, I found it interesting that they said something about a suit and tie. I've said before, some of your biggest thugs in the world wear a suit and tie and carry a briefcase. They are not the ones that you see standing out on your corners, dealing drugs. No. Your biggest thugs and gangsters and criminals and gang members are the ones who have high-paying, 6-figure jobs. Shoot, most of them are probably most likely in Congress. But let me continue. The prosecutor also said that the investigation is continuing. In the Los Angeles case, and now mind you, that what I just read to you was all the New York stuff. Now we're heading to Los Angeles, and we are 12 minutes and some change into this story. In the Los Angeles case, Avenatti is charged 2 criminal counts, wire fraud and bank fraud. His presentment in that case will occur at a later date. In a statement, Nike said Nike will not be extorted or hide information that is relevant to a government investigation. Nike has been cooperating with the government's investigation into NCAA basketball for over a year. When Nike became aware of this matter, Nike immediately reported it to federal prosecutors. When Mr. Avenatti attempted to extort Nike over this matter, Nike, with the assistance of outside counsel at Boies Schiller Flexner, aided the investigation. Nike firmly believes in ethical and fair play both in business and sports and will continue to assist the prosecutors. Avenatti's law firm in Los Angeles had no immediate comment. The White House did not immediately comment. But Trump's re-election campaign manager, Brad Parscale, tweeted a reference to Avenatti's arrest and to the release of the summary of the investigation by special counsel Robert Mueller that did not end in criminal allegations against the president. In the Los Angeles federal case, Avenatti is accused in a 197-page complaint of negotiating a $1.6 million settlement for a client in a civil case, but then giving the client a bogus settlement agreement with a false payment date of March 10, 2018. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Los Angeles said Avenatti misappropriated his client's settlement money and used it to pay expenses for his coffee business, Global Baristas US LLC, which operated Tully's coffee stores in California and Washington State, as well for his own expenses. When the fake March 2018 deadline passed and the client asked where the money was, Avenatti continued to conceal that payment had already been received. Mr. Avenatti is facing serious criminal charges alleging he misappropriated client trust funds for his personal use and he defrauded a bank by submitting phony tax returns in order to obtain millions of dollars in loans, according to U.S. Attorney Nick Hanna. Hanna's office said Avenatti also allegedly defrauded a bank in Mississippi by submitting to that bank fake tax returns to get 3 loans totaling $4.1 million for his law firm and coffee business in 2014. The tax return indicated that he had substantial income even though he had never filed any such returns with the Internal Revenue Service, the prosecutor's office said. The phony return stated that he earned $4,562,881 in adjusted gross income in 2011, $5,423,099 in 2012, and $4,082,803 in 2013. Avenatti allegedly also claimed he paid $1.6 million in estimated tax payments to the IRS in 2012 and paid $1.25 million in 2013. Now you see how those numbers look and sound completely different from each other. In reality, Avenatti never filed personal income tax returns for 2011, 2012, and 2013, and did not make any estimated tax payments in 2012 and 2013, Hannah's office said. Instead of the millions of dollars he claimed to have paid in taxes, Avenatti still owed the IRS $850,438 in unpaid personal income tax plus interest and penalties for the tax years 2009 and 2010. Avenatti also submitted a fictitious partnership tax return for his law firm. According to the investigators, U.S. Attorney for Los Angeles Nicola Hanna said on his Twitter account, Mr. Avenatti describes himself as an attorney, advocate, fighter for good, but the allegations in his case describe something completely different: a corrupt lawyer who instead fights for his own selfish interests by misappropriating close to $1 million that rightfully belongs to one of his clients. Wow. That was a pretty hefty article that I had to read. It was a very loaded article. I'm almost certain that there will be more to come from this, and I hope more does, like a hefty prison sentence. I hope he gets found guilty on every charge that he is brought up on. Everything that he's accused of, I'm going to just say it right now. He did it. He did it. His hands are filthy. He did it. Like, this guy, first off, before I go any further, I'm trying to figure out why they still haven't brought up the stuff about his domestic abuse case. You know, that happened last year, and I think that was one of the reasons why I think he backed off the whole Donald Trump thing as well. And then he just, like I said, leapfrogged onto the whole R. Kelly thing, and we was like, where did this guy come from? Because to be honest, I really didn't know too much about Michael Avenatti until the R. Kelly situation. Now I'm gonna piggyback on something Harvey said. They can get Michael Avenatti, fine, but they need to also get Gloria Allred and her daughter Lisa Bloom. Now, if they can get those two, then I know that there's a guy somewhere floating in this realm, because those two right there definitely need to get theirs ASAP. But as for Michael Avenatti, this is his karma. This is his karma right here. He got too greedy. He got too comfortable, and he probably thought, oh, I can do this and they're never going to catch me. But you can see right here that this stuff that has been going on with Michael Avenatti has been going on for years. Like, they're dating all the way back to 2011. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back further than that. But to be honest, they have enough evidence to nail this guy to the wall. Even if they don't have to go any further back than 2011, they have enough on him to say he did this, he's guilty, and, you know, go forward with that. And quiet as it's kept, this actually gives R. Kelly's team some ammo to work with against him. They can say that he was basically trying to get something out of them, like he was basically going on a wild goose chase, and he just like latched himself to this bandwagon against R. Kelly, and that will actually work in a way in R. Kelly's favor, despite what many people think of R. Kelly as an individual. If R. Kelly, let's say, was to walk from this again, all he'll have to say is that Michael Avenatti, it's his fault. Then people will really look at Michael Avenatti sideways, even more than they do now. But it is what it is. It couldn't have happened to a more well-deserving individual. And I'm just going to leave it at that for now. But this has been another Petty Pendergrass production. I hope you all enjoyed. I enjoyed giving this information to you. I hope it all has registered. And with that being said, I will talk to you all in the next one.